Utah Gun Exchange, the nation's patriot marketplace.
SHOT Show 2018 at the Steyr booth, and I am with Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Mike, what do you have in your hands there?
Actually, this is the Steyr AUG A3 M1.
A3 M1,
Yep.
Okay.
And over the years, I guess 5 or 6 years ago, Steyr had the AUG A3. You could have basically one version. It had one rail. It was the longer rail version, and black, or if you wanted any other color, you'd have to spray paint. So basically, in the past few years, they went and did the M1 series receiver. That was the way that this thing's machined. So basically, this rail attaches via 3 screws in the bottom. So I can put on this the long rail, I could go with the short rail, or I can go with the mid rail. Personally, I'm a big fan of rail space, so I can put an EOTech, a 3-power adapter, backup iron sights, and still have a few slots left over. New, whenever the M1 came out, also was quick detach front sling swivel, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's very, very simple. My favorite thing is you almost have to see it in takedown to believe it. I'm not a big fan of cleaning guns, so it's one of those things. If I can avoid cleaning the gun, I will. I clean my AUGs. I generally wipe down every 1,500 rounds. I'll run a bore snake through it about that same amount of time. So basically, I don't like cleaning guns, and to me, because this is a short stroke gas piston system, which I'll show you in a little bit, this is where the gas is coming out of the gun, this is where the heat's coming out of the gun, and this is where the carbon's coming out of the gun. But I'll get to that in a second. So basically, here's your stock. So I just took the pin out. Whoop. So basically, there's your trigger kit. It's all polymer. The full auto, the beauty of the AUG, if you ever get a chance to shoot a full auto AUG, the Steyr AUG has a full auto select fire version. Is truly select fire by the amount of pressure that you put on the trigger. Mm-hmm. It's a progressive trigger system. So basically, if I pull a little, it goes bang once. If I pull a lot, the gun goes rock and roll. So, but again, polymer is used extensively in these guns because all of your heat and all of your dirt and everything's going out the front. So back in the back of the gun, everything's nice and cool, runs clean, runs great. So that's your trigger pack. Moving around, these are the Steyr Proprietary magazines. These things are virtually indestructible. To me, I have never found another 5.56 or 223 style magazine that has the strength or durability or reliability as these magazines.
So you think they're better than the traditional Stanag mag?
In my opinion, absolutely. I know people will disagree with me. If you have to shoot your AR magazines, and I know you can pick these up for $20 a piece. Magpul actually makes their own version of the Steyr magazine.
Wow.
$20 a piece. I think you can probably pick them up on the street for about $16, $17. I mean, you have options, but if you really have to have the NATO version, we have a NATO stock. You lose the left eject that this rifle has, so I can't switch from left-handed to right-handed if I just change out my bolt and change out this plate. So you lose that. There's 2 trigger bars, transfer bars on the inside of this stock. And basically, you lose one because you have the linkage over here for the NATO stock. So basically, for me, it's a little too much to give up whenever I've got a vastly superior magazine design. And again, while I work with Steyr, I still buy my magazines straight off the street because they're relatively inexpensive. So let me continue the takedown, kind of get back into the brilliance. I'm moving slowly here, so basically it's a quick change barrel. So I've got a 16.5-inch barrel plus the muzzle brake on the end. It locks into the receiver back here. So basically you've got lugs on the barrel. The beauty of these guns, they're 40 years old this year, 2017 they were 40 years old. You can actually take a gun from 1977, a barrel from 1977, drop it into this receiver, and it will still headspace on a go gauge. So
wow.
You've got one manufacturer building the same thing over and over and over and over again. So they've gotten pretty good at it over the years. But again, you've got your short stroke gas piston system in here. You've got an adjustment so that basically if you're running dirty, you're not getting enough pressure, you can actually adjust this real quickly and change your gas port, and it will actually help the gun function a little bit better. I've got 25,000 rounds through one of my rifles, and I have never had it on the adverse position, but your mileage may vary. Basically, one more thing to do, and that's remove the receiver, which these guns are from the factory can be
a little
bit tight. So basically, there's your stock, and then here I've got
so the stock is basically just a receiver to pull all the other parts into.
Yep. And this is technically your receiver. So basically, it's an aluminum housing, and it has stainless steel inserts. That basically you have your op rod, and then you've got your guide rod. So basically your guide rod is running off your charging handle. You've got a left side charging handle. That basically you've got stainless steel guide rods. Your recoil springs are actually built into these guide rods, and then you've got corresponding rods inside of the stock that actually create your back pressure on your springs. Very, very, like I said, all your heat and gas is up on this end where the gas piston is.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we actually can use polymers back in the bolt carrier because things run so cleanly and so coolly. Even the full auto guns, the firing pin retaining block is polymer. So basically, there's your firing pin. And if I wanted to switch to left-handed, very, very simply, push that button in. I take the right-handed bolt out, put my left-handed bolt in, which I generally carry in my stock. Just pop it into position. Take my firing pin. This may take a second longer than it does normally because this firing pin has been cut for the show, but it pops the cam pin up. There we go. So basically, push that in, turn it a quarter turn, put the ears back down, and you're back to being assembled. My lubrication process personally is I put a little bit of lube here, a little lube here, a little lube here, and put the gun away. So basically, that's about the extent of the system. The beauty to me is that the straight recoil, and this gun is running on rails. So very linear in the recoil. So whenever that gun recoils, it actually comes straight back into your shoulder rather than trying to muzzle climb. So that's basically the extent of the system. And again, the beauty is the simplicity of the AUG Steyr system after 40 years. It runs as absolutely reliably as the Steyr does. So
I notice you've called it the AUG. What's the proper way to describe it? Is it AUG or AUG? I hear both ways.
You know, I don't know that it's necessarily wrong to say AUG. I hang out with the Austrians enough that I always use the term AUG.
Okay.
That's what they say, so that's what I say. But basically, you can't be wrong. You call it whatever you want to call it. Just don't call it unreliable.
Okay. Hey, another interesting point. Obviously, it looks like the AUG has an incredible high-quality magazine, but you guys also have a version that takes AR-15 magazines, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how long was that brought out?
That actually was done for another. It was a NATO country that actually put in an order for a bunch of AUGs, but they wanted to use the Stanag magazines. So that has been, oh my gosh, 30 years probably going on. So that has been around. And like I said, to me, especially the original USGI magazines, the aluminum box magazines, or, I mean, if you're going to have a malfunction in an AR, that's generally where your problem's going to start from. It's going to come from the magazine. So, like I said, I'm a big fan of, keeping it simple, running with something that I know is reliable and is going to always run.
So they make you hungry for waffles in the morning.
Exactly.
Go out, shoot, go home, have waffles.
Pour some syrup on my magazine.
Nice. Okay.
Great.
Mike, thank you very much. Can you pull that white one off the rack? That thing looks amazing.
Yeah, that again, I can't say.
Yeah, you can't say that it looks like a Stormtrooper gun, but I could say that it looks like a Stormtrooper gun.
Yeah, George Lucas is funny about words that he has trademarked. He apparently defends those trademarks vociferously.
Alright, well, the next time I see a Star Wars movie, I'm going to say, hey, that Stormtrooper gun looks like an AUG. Demonstrating mag toughness right here in the booth.
Exactly.
Throwing them on the ground.
Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Nice.
You can't destroy them.
Okay, I guess that answers the question whether or not they are durable.
Actually, one of the guys...
Essentially just jackhammered it with the AUG.
It's funny, one of the guys at Steyr had taken the forklifts with the big fat hard rubber wheels. They're not tires or anything. They're hard rubber wheels.
Yeah.
So he's backing the forklift around. One of these magazines had fallen off of the shelf and dropped onto the floor, and he backed over the magazine. And he's like, oh. So he takes it, loads it up with 30 rounds, takes it back to the range, and does a magazine dump through the gun. Absolutely no issues with the magazine whatsoever. Had no problems functioning, feeding, anything like that. So it's one of those things, if you can drive over one of these magazines with a forklift and it still runs, that puts me in a nice warm fuzzy place whenever I know that I'm
not too bad.
So.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Hope you have a great show. Get another shot of those fantastic looking AUGs. All right. Thanks again, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and go to UtahGunExchange.com for all of your Patriot gear needs.
To all those in Second Amendment deprived states, if you're reading this, you are the resistance, and we are with you. The nation's Patriot Marketplace. Buy, sell, trade. UtahGunExchange.com.